So I just want to talk briefly about something that has hurt the market, something that has helped the market. I want to talk about eBay being used as the new Overstreet, used as the new wizard pricing guide. I say wizard because back in the '90s, the early '90s, a lot of folks that did not know or could not get their hands on Overstreet, they would go out and buy Wizard, and all the way in the back would have a pricing guide. Well, now, of course, with a lot of idiots out here, eBay is being used as the Bible or gospel for buying and selling comic books. But let's talk about, or let's discuss, or let me just share with you why this doesn't make any sense. Number one, eBay should not be used as the all-be-it-all for buying and selling comics because they sell more than just comics. All right, it is most of the time, maybe about 70 to 80% of the time, it is an auction. Sometimes you can make a best offer on there, you can get the price reduced, but most of the time it is at the discretion of how many people realize that the book is actually out there on eBay. If you don't type in the information correctly, you might not get Savage Avengers #1. You might get a story that has the Savage Avengers in it. So it's also about how you type in the description of what the comic book is. You don't know how many times I've seen books that were in a lot, but they never were described. Okay, and so the price was set at an unrealistic price, whether it be too high or too low, but that book was purchased and somebody walked around and said, hey, I bought this book for XYZ price. Well, you're lying. Well, go look on eBay, you'll see it. And you'll check sold listings, bam, it's right there. There's a lot of pumping and dumping on eBay. There's not a real way that you can kind of prevent pumping and dumping, but it's a phenomenon that happens. We as speculators, collectors, we have to deal with it. But long story short, eBay is an auction. Sometimes the lowest price wins, sometimes the highest price wins. But if I put a car in the auction and the car goes very, very high at this auction, it doesn't mean it's going to go high at another auction. You don't take one market, which is eBay, and say, well, this is the price for this book. I'm going off of what it sold for. Multiple people have paid for it. 9 times out of 10, you won't have more than about, if it's a hot book, depending on how cheap it is, you won't have more than about 20 people buying that book. So you can't take, a couple people purchased this book at this price, a couple to like 20 people say, well, guess what? That's what the market value is. That's insane. How many people that are after this book did not choose eBay and went to another site? Well, it gives you a ballpark of how much it is. It does not. What we have to do as the comic book community is develop a website and or even people, there's some Midtown freaks out there. Well, what did Midtown have it for? And I think Midtown is cool. I've never purchased a book off of there, but I've researched books. I pulled book data off of there. I see how much stuff costs. But they should really share how much books sold for. Then again, they already do because they put the price of the books on there. So I just think as a collective community, we've got to find a way to gather data from how much stuff has been sold in Facebook auctions, how much stuff has been sold on eBay, how much stuff has been sold for different comic book buying sites, and somehow pull all that data together and say, you know what? In the past month, at about 7 or 8 different websites, this is how much this book has sold for. I would rather go to that. I mean, who goes and gets one opinion from one source on how much something costs? You always go and do your research and check about 2 or 3 different sources to see how much you can purchase something for any type of good and service. I had a guy come over to my house wanting to charge me $100 to cut my grass, and I had another guy come over and say, hey, I'll give you $50. So how much is my yard worth to get my to get my yard done? Is it worth $50 or is it worth $100? It's worth whatever you're willing to pay for, and I get that. But a lot of people are willing to pay for something based off of, is this something normal? Sometimes things, yeah, I get it. It's worth what you're willing to pay. But if you know that the book, you get the book, hey, I'm willing to pay $5 for a Hulk 181. But hell, I know if I get it, I'm willing to do that. But I know if I go down the street to Jimmy John's Comics and I get it for $1, guess what? I'm also willing to pay that for it too. So when people say, oh, it's only worth what somebody's willing to pay, well, it depends on the price point. If it's, it can still be within my range of what I'm willing to pay, but I can also get a better deal. Or, the market has went from $5 to $20. I'm not really willing to pay $20, but I also realize, hey, I'm not going to be able to get this book any less than $20. Then my willingness has just risen. So those type of things happen all the time in comic book markets. But I just think that we've got to be smarter, especially when we're in these Facebook groups, when we are in these online communities, when we are on these eBay, and we say, well, this is how much something costs on eBay, so this is how much I'm going to charge you. We have to be smarter and challenge people that just use eBay as a Bible. That's all I'm saying. I just wanted to make this a short, sweet video. Like, comment, subscribe, dislike if you want. Don't subscribe if you won't. It doesn't matter. I'm going to continue to make these videos. A lot of these things are headcanons. Check out my Naomi video, my Black super villains video, and my Too Many variant videos. Thank you guys. I hope you guys have a blessed day.